When you make eye contact with that pretty girl that you really like, or perhaps you go into that first job interview, what do you think is the first thing they all notice about you? It's your freaking looks, man. How handsome are you? How attractive are you? And obviously, looks maxing is huge on the internet right now, which is why I'm doing a full-blown scale on how attractive are you. So this is gonna be a pretty fun video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I just want to clarify before we get really deep into it. I would say wherever you're sitting at right now, you can bump up one, maybe even two categories in extreme cases. But for the most part, like, let's say there's a normie, somebody who is completely average. He can bump up to a high tier normie or sometimes even a Chad light, which I'm going to get into all the meanings of all these different names today. First rating scale is going to be 0 to 4. So this is going to be the sub 5 category. This is, I hate to say it, but this is pure incel category. Girls, like, you're not even really in the friend zone type with girls. Like, they're scared of you, man. Like, you go up to a girl, sub 5, they're afraid. They're gonna say that you're giving them creepy vibes. They don't want to be around you. And you probably are giving them creepy vibes. The majority of sub 5s are probably on the hub all day, because you're not improving. And here's the thing, man. The case of most sub 5s is going to be the Jabba the Hutt situation, meaning you're just freaking huge, or maybe you starve yourself, you never hit the gym, you've not bought new clothes in years. There's no ounce of motivation to self-improve. Now, in the very rare cases that sub 5s is going to be genetic, I truly feel sorry for you, man. I really do. That sucks. That's the situation. You can still do everything else to looks max to where you can at least be a normie, but if you are just a sub 5 because you lack self-improvement, my brother. Rating of a 4 to a 5.5. This is a normie, so this is going to be 60 to 80% of the population. If you're watching this, you're probably a normie. I hate to break it to you. This is going to be the standard average Joe. This is going to be just a very stereotypical person, which there is nothing wrong with that. But in today's modern dating world, man, it's so freaking competitive. If there's 60 to 80% of you guys, this means that you pretty much are trying to get at the same 20% of girls, because the 20% of girls are trying to go up for the Chads and the Chad lights, because this is how hypergamy works, man. If you don't know about hypergamy, I need to make a video about it. At this stage, when it comes to dating, you're gonna have a pretty difficult time unless you lean on your wallet, your charisma, your confidence, your game. This is where all these like red pill guys come in, all these PUA pickup artists come in. It's for normies, man, because they need something to stick out from all the other normies. So know that you are an official normie whenever it is difficult for you to get laid. Like, let's say you go out on a night out, it's gonna be very difficult for you. Maybe you get lucky, maybe like once a month, something like this. But if girls are not flocking to you, you're probably a normie. 5.5 to 6.5. This is going to be a high tier normie. This is slightly above average. Now you get a little bit more attention from girls, a little bit more respect from other guys, but not to where it's threat. Typically the high tier normie has something prominent that sticks out. Maybe he has super dense eyebrows, maybe he has really good eyelashes, a chiseled jawline, but everything else, it's pretty bland, it's pretty normal. And maybe he has something to offset this, like a really odd nose, something like this, to where he is high tier normie. Still not really tapping into the 80% market of all girls, so if you're watching this, like, you have access to every girl pretty much that you want. You're probably above this. Now this is still, if you're kind of struggling when it comes to dating, you might be a high tier normie, which you can bump up to a Chad light. 6.5 to 7.5, we're in the Chad light territory. Now this is officially whenever you are handsome. So you're very attractive, maybe some people say you can model, you get attention pretty much anywhere that you go. So girls give you attention, guys start staring at you. This is whenever the handsome men's game kind of comes in play, because there's going to be a lot of weird stuff once you're at this level of attraction. If you're watching this, you want to know if you're a Chad light, do you feel like you are just swarming with girls? You basically get any girl that you want to, but here's the catch. You don't really see yourself as super attractive. Like, you don't feel like you could walk onto a movie set and go toe to toe with Chris Pratt, Brad Pitt, something like this. So you're handsome, you're attractive, but it's gonna be pretty much wherever you are location-wise. Like, you walk into a room, a gym, a nightclub, typically you're the most attractive guy there. Every now and then you might get mogged.
Can somebody explain what mogged means?
But for the most part, the world is yours, man. 7.5 to 9. You are officially a Chad. This is what all of the internet, the looks maxing, black pill community, they're obsessed with. This is going to be 5% of pretty much the entire population, maybe even less. I would argue like 1%. But the Chad, he's very attractive. Pretty much any girl from the ages of 18 to 50, they're gonna be drawn to the Chad. Like, girls are always coming up to you, and not just that. There is an obsession factor to the Chad. So whenever you're a real Chad, you'll have girls that you've been with creating paintings about you. You will have girls literally getting freaking obsessed with you. Every girl's gonna try to cuff you. This is the life of a true Chad. So if girls are not just obsessed with you, like they have to have you, like they have to drink freaking water every single day, you're probably not a Chad. Any date you go on with the girl, she will typically try to hook up with you first night, 99% of the time, unless she has plans to try to cuff you long term and she doesn't want to come off a certain way. In Dragon Ball Z, there's something known as the legendary Super Saiyan. You know, it's like the most rare, ancient Super Saiyan. And when it comes to Chads, I'm gonna be really cringy. I'm gonna create a new Chad called the legendary Chad God, which is gonna be 9 to 10, the most rare Chad you will ever see. This is reserved for like the 0.0000001% of the population, because this is genetic perfection. Like, this is the most attractive person you'll probably ever see. Now, with this level of attraction, you have to have status to like really tap this out. Otherwise, you just kind of like a Chad, or maybe even Chad light. But here's the thing, man. If you're this level of attraction, you have gotten approached at like the age of 14, 13 for modeling. Everybody's obsessed with you. And if you're this attractive, you should typically be famous, social media famous, something like this, because people just like to look at you. Like, you could post a thirst trap and get millions of views instantly, which is why this is the most rare out of all of them. There's really not that many men on this level. Same thing with women, man. It's extremely rare for people to be this attractive. Comment below where you fall within the scale, and let me remind you, anybody can become attractive and anybody can max their freaking SMV off the charts. Like, let's say you're a Chad, you're a 5, boost the SMV, get a Greek god physique, work on your fashion, work on your game, charisma, fully balance yourself out. Some people are genetically gifted to where they can just show up, their looks do all the talking, and it's great. Sometimes you're not that lucky, so you have to put in the work. You can't cry about it, because this is life at the end of the day. Look at the description box for a free one-on-one consultation with me, Austin Wayne. Also, kalosique.com for the best supplements in the fitness industry. Don't forget to subscribe, best supplement channel on YouTube. That's it. I love you with all my heart. Peace.